A Rubik's Cube has 6 sides and 9 colors on each side. Does that mean we have to memorize 54 different stickers? Actually, no. The reason is because the Rubik's Cube is actually not made of individual stickers, it's made of pieces that have stickers joined together like this. Here we have 6 cards, each representing a piece on the Rubik's Cube. Here we have the ace, which is the buffer piece, and A is the buffer location, which is where it belongs. The only moves we are allowed to do is to swap the ace with any other card. Now from here, the ace is no longer in the buffer position, and whatever is in the buffer position, we can swap this with any other card that we want. This is how all of the moves will happen. So if I were to say B, D, then that means this particular order of swaps. The buffer with B, and then the buffer with D. Now here, can you think of a sequence of 2 swaps with the buffer that will solve this? So 2 belongs at B, so that's the first swap we do with B. Then we see where 3 belongs, and that belongs at C. Since we've reached the buffer piece, then that's actually where we end it. So swap with B, and then swap with C. All right, so using the same idea, can you come up with a solution for this one? So just like last time, we start by looking at what's in the buffer. 6 belongs at F, then see where 5 belongs, that belongs at E. And since we've reached the buffer piece again, then that means we don't need to memorize anymore. So now swap with F, and swap with E. Here I'm going to show you how to swap just 2 edges like this. So here's the algorithm. R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime. So that algorithm did swap 2 edges. Now it also swapped these 2 corners, but we're going to worry about that later. So we know that the swapping algorithm swaps these 2 pieces, and let's call this one the buffer. So since these 2 normally get swapped, but let's say I want to swap the buffer with instead this piece, I can just move this piece up to the other spot. So I'll move this one up like this. D prime to move it over here, and L2 to move it up. Then swap, then put it back. So now what we have, ignoring the corners, is that we have these 2 edges have swapped. So using this, you can swap the buffer with any edge on the cube, and I have a full list of setup moves in the description if you're wondering how to swap with any particular edge. So now apply this scramble to your cube with white top and green front. So this is a simple example, but we'll be looking at how to solve this using swaps. So the first thing we have to do is use letters so we can talk about different pieces quickly. Start at the top and go clockwise, A, B, C, D, then the left side, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, and then back to the front, look at the bottom, U, V, W, X. So now we go through as usual by starting with the buffer. Now we're going to look specifically at the top sticker of the buffer, and this is going to be the green of the green-white piece. So we go to the green-white spot and look at the green side. This, if you go through the letters, is the letter I. Then you see where the piece that is currently here needs to go, specifically the white sticker of the white-blue piece. So here's the white-blue spot, and the white sticker should go right here. So that's going to be the letter A. Next, since this is white-red, it needs to go back to the buffer, and we never do any memorization for the buffer piece, so that's actually it for this. Afterwards, you just have to swap one by one with each of these letters. So starting with I, we have to move this sticker over to here without touching any of these 3 pieces. So that can be done like this. Then swap, then put it back. Next is A, so like this. And that's it. Now apply this scramble to your cube. So here we're going to go through the same idea again. Start by looking at the buffer, specifically this sticker, and see where it should go. So this is white-orange. It needs to go to the white-orange spot, and specifically the white sticker, so it should go here. This is the letter D. Next, we've actually reached the buffer piece, so we end the memorization, but we have more unsolved pieces, so we're going to have to go into what's called a new cycle. You start by finding any unsolved piece and just start with that. So I'm going to start with this sticker right here. This is the letter I. We see where this should go, and it should go over to here, which is the letter Q. This should go here, which is the letter I. And since this is the same piece we started the cycle with, we have now finished the cycle. So all new cycles have to begin and end with the same piece, and then you know you've done it correctly. It doesn't have to be the same letter. So here C and I are the same piece. So if you have managed to have a cycle that began with C and ended with I, that would be okay as well. All right, so here let's go through that solution. Start with D, which is no setup moves. And then go to I, which is like this. Swap and undo. Then Q. swap, undo, and then I. Now apply this scramble to your cube and we will be looking at flipped edges. You can think about it like a new cycle. For just the white-green edge, we can start by picking this letter, and then we pick where this one needs to go. It's the green of the white-green, so it needs to come over to here. So C and then I. And since we began and ended with the same piece, the cycle is over. It's just like any other new cycle. So the full memorization for solving white-green and blue-white can be like this. C, I, A, Q. I recommend you trying this by yourself, just go through the letters in sequence. The corner pieces actually follow the exact same concepts, which means you don't have to learn anything new besides the new algorithm for it. So the new algorithm for it is this. R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R. So what this algorithm does is it swaps this left sticker on the top left and it swaps it with the bottom sticker on the front right. This is going to be the buffer location and this is going to be the spot that it swaps to, and all setup moves will bring stickers over to here. So apply this scramble to your cube and we will be looking at one example corner solution. So first we need some letters. We start at the top left and we go A, B, C, D, clockwise as usual. Then we go to the left side, again, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, and at the bottom from the front, U, V, W, X. We start by looking at the buffer, just like usual, and here is the buffer for corners. So we look at what that is, and it's the red of the white, green, red. So we find the red side of the white, green, red location, which is here. This is the letter M. Next, we see where this piece needs to go, specifically the green sticker. So it goes to the white, orange, green location, which is over here, and goes to the green part. So this is the letter I. White, orange, blue goes to the buffer, which means you'll never have to do memorization when you reach this piece. So M starts with this piece over here, the sticker, and we need to put the sticker over here as the setup move because this is the spot we swap with. And all of our setup moves cannot touch anything in this back corner right here. So we can just do F, and that moves it over there. Now we can do the swapping algorithm, and then we'll have to undo the F from the beginning, and then that finishes this one. Next, we'll have to do I, and how we can get I down to here is with F, R prime. That puts the orange sticker over here, then just swap. Now we'll have to undo those moves from the beginning, and that's it. Now before we get into the full example solve, there will be one more thing you have to know. That is called parity. Once you've memorized all the edges and memorized all of the corners, if one is even and one is odd, that means you did something wrong. But if they're both even, that means you can just execute the solution normally, just go through all the edges and go through all the corners. But if you memorize an odd number of edges and an odd number of corners, then you will have to do the parity algorithm in between solving edges and corners. So here is the algorithm. R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R, D, R prime, U prime, R prime, D prime, R prime, U2, R prime, U prime. So here we're looking at a full example solve, and let's start with getting all the letters for edges. Here again, we start with the top sticker of the buffer piece, and that goes right over to here, which is the letter K. This one goes over to here, which is the buffer again. Now we have to start a new cycle already. So it doesn't matter which piece you pick, as long as you pick another unsolved piece. I'll just pick D. So we're going to start with D and see where this goes. This goes over to here, which is I. Then this goes here, which is E. And this cycle is now also over, and there are more unsolved pieces, so we have to start a new cycle. So again, pick any unsolved piece. I'm going to pick the letter X over here and see where this one goes. This one goes here, which is O. This one goes to here, which is W. This piece goes here, which is J, which goes over to here, H, which goes to L, which goes to Q, which goes to N, and then back to X. So this cycle is also over. And if you check all the pieces at this point, we've actually done memorization on every single piece, which means we're done. So to memorize this, as you go through the letters, you should pair them up and turn them into images. So for each pair of letters, try to come up with an image that is easy to remember. So for the first one, KD, I use Kevin Durant, but you can use any other option like kid or Kraft Dinner. Then just continue through and make an image for every single letter pair, but make sure to come up with a story out of it. And the more ridiculous the story is, the easier it will be to remember. So here we go. Kevin Durant, Internet Explorer, XO is tic-tac-toe, with jam, hello, queen, and for me, X is just a ninja throwing star. So now for corners. We look at the buffer sticker, and this should go over to here, which is the letter O. And then this should go over to here, which is the letter U, which should go here, which is S, which goes here, which is C, and then here, which is V. And this one goes back to the buffer. So here we're actually done with the memorization for that cycle, and we have to check for any more unsolved pieces. So this piece and this piece are the only unsolved pieces left. So let's just pick any unsolved piece. Let's pick this one. This one is N. We see where it should go, and it goes to Q. And this means we actually finished the cycle because we started and ended on the same piece. So the last one is this one. We can start with here. It doesn't really matter where on it we start. This is I. See where this goes, and it goes here, which is F. And again, began and ended on the same piece, so the cycle is over. So that's actually all the letters we need for the corner pieces, and let's see how to memorize that. OU is ouch, SC is scorpion, VN is violin, QI is quiet, and F is, well, a swear word. So if you can get a correct sequence of letters and then memorize all of them, then all you have to do is go through each of them one by one. So here we're going to start with K. You need to move K up to here, so that's like this. Swap and undo setup. Now from here I'm going to go a little bit faster, but remember YouTube has a slow motion feature in case this is too fast. So D, I, E, X, O, W, J, H, L, Q, N, and X. All right, so now we've solved edges but not corners yet. And remember, if we have an odd number of edges memorized, then we need to do the parity algorithm. So again, the parity algorithm goes like this. And now we can continue on to corners. So remember, for corners, we're trying to get stickers over to here. So first is O, and we can get that over here like this. Swap. And then undo the setup moves. And now I'll be going a little bit faster. So U, S, C, V, N, Q, I, F, and that's it. Now, if you want to see another example solve, I have a link in the description, or you can click on the card here. If you have any further questions, you can leave it in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. Also, in the description, you will find answers to frequently asked questions. And also check out some of my other cubing tutorials that I have here. You can learn how to solve one-handed, learn F2L, and so on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time.